Anyways, before we break up, one last question for you two lovely ladies. Young lady moves to LA for the first time in her life right out of college, trying to get into the entertainment industry, whether she wants to be an actress or a producer or anywhere in between. What's your advice?
I think the best. What? Is that you? I think my biggest piece of advice is do everything and anything that you can to get experience. Whether because there's people who won't do some things for free. I've been doing this for 10 years and I still do stuff for free because 1, you never know the connection you're going to make. 2, you don't know who that person's going to become. And 3, you don't know where that project is going to go. And it may go nowhere, but it's a learning experience. If you don't have on-set experience, you need on-set experience. If you've never done anything production, you need production experience. And if without the experience, like a catch-22. So there was a girl, Sarah Music, shout out to you. She just came here. I met her at a networking event. I talked to her about my project and she was so eager. And she was like, I just want to learn, which is the smartest thing. And I was like, sure. And I got her number. I hit her up. I had talked to Sarah about it. And we're like, yeah, she's like, have her come be. We needed PAs. We couldn't pay anybody, but she was happy to do it. And she did it for free. And she, whatever. And she learned and we're so grateful for her help. But that is the thing. I mean, I think you're going to be an actress, background and stand-in work. I learned so much. People give it a lot of shit. And I think there's paying your dues. And I think if I didn't even know there was a union when I first started, I thought people in the background were real life people. Like seriously, I had no idea. Somebody told me something. I ended up going and meeting somebody at Actors Connection in New York. Tony Nation, had a conversation with him. He told me, but he's like, do background work, get into the union, da-da-da-da. So I was like, okay. He gave me like the things to do. And then I got very lucky. Got an agent, managers. Like I got super lucky, was auditioning and stuff. But like, that's how I learned about rules, about the unions, about set etiquette, because there is such thing as set etiquette. There are words that they say, going again, go to your 1, checking the gate, moving on, going in tighter. Back to 1. Yeah, back to 1. All these things. I didn't know any of that existed. So you could do background work, if you could, standing in is the best, because that's where I get to like be a part of a crew and ask questions to the crew, and you're more in with them and stuff. And then anybody who's doing any independent stuff, because that's me too. Like I want to learn even more about production stuff. So I've said to my friends, like, if you ever need any help, like I would love to help you. Anybody who's shooting something, shoot it. Be like, can I have, like, I'll do whatever background, anything you could possibly do to learn and get yourself on set in the thing that you want to be doing.
I would say, don't be discouraged by the hustle and the struggle, and fail forward. Because when you're starting out, listen, I have been in some really horrendous films and shows where I felt like Joey Tribbiani. And where I'm like, oh man, how do I delete that forever? But there's gonna be those struggles, and there's gonna be days where, no one wants to hear what you have to say and nobody wants to see your stuff, and, be your own advocate and create your own content, hustle, put yourself out there, believe in you, because at the end of the day, no one's gonna care more about your career and no one's gonna care more about your talent than you. So make the causes to get that education, whether it's by, taking acting classes and constantly working. You are never an expert, ever. You are constantly learning. You are constantly growing. If you're not growing, you're going backwards.
I'm still in class, and I theater minor in 2-year conservatory, and in 10 years, 12 years in, I still take class.
Absolutely. So always be working on your craft, whatever that is, and just don't let relationships expire. You're going to meet so many people in this industry, and like Melissa said, you never know who's going to come and who's going to become something, but also connect with people on a real way. Yes, you want to keep in touch for relationship and business reasons, but when you find people, like Melissa said, when you find your tribe, when you find people that you can mesh with and you really enjoyed them on set, or you just think that they're a great person, just don't let that expire. Like, be like, hey, like, let's grab coffee, let's grab a drink, I'm going to this show. And really keep up those relationships, because this business is a business of relationships. Yes. And it's a business of, it is time's up. Me too. People's times of being not great and being horrendous in this industry and treating people like they're not people is done. Mm-hmm. So, be that person that when you find good people, be like, I want to help that person, because at some point you're going to be in a position to help others.
And I've done
and pay it forward.
Yeah, I didn't know, like I said, I didn't know anybody. There's nobody to help me. And if I can help somebody, struggle a little less or whatever, like that makes me feel like I'm paying it forward. And it's tough. Like I'm still struggling, and it is a struggle. They say it's literally that saying, it's a marathon, not a sprint, is so true. And keep dreaming. You know, the Oscars, that's what I really appreciated. They were so big on that. Keep dreaming. 'Cause why not you?
And there's no such thing as an overnight success.
No, it takes 10 years to be an overnight success in the industry.
There's no such thing. So don't get deflated and don't compare yourself to others. Everyone has their own journey, and just stay in your lane and do you. You know, do what you're passionate about. Do what, you know, everyone has to give up and sacrifice at some point in this industry something. So remind yourself why you're doing it.
I once told someone that they were so discouraged at where they were in their life, what they haven't or had accomplished and whatnot. And I was like, you shouldn't really be focused on that, because when the time comes that you actually do accomplish what you're out here to do, at that time, someone's going to be looking at like, oh my God, I can't believe you've accomplished that at that time. You know what I mean? Like, you can't put a deadline into what your dream is, because once you've hit it, then to someone else, that's going to be like, oh my God, how did they do that in such a quick amount of time, you know?
Well, that's true. It's like, you can be like, how many, like I've had people say, like, you know, how long are you going to give it a try? And it's like, you can't do that. Because it could take John Hamm, I think took him 20 years. Bryan Cranston was doing like some,
He was doing like steel work or something.
He was doing some random commercials that were like ridiculous. You know what I mean? Then he got Breaking Bad. That's the thing.
I don't care how long you guys watch Breaking Bad. Yo, he's always Hal to me. He will always be Hal from Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Always. He will always be Hal.
Yes. I'd be like, yo, Hal is wilding on Breaking Bad. What's wrong with Hal? He's still wilding and shit.
Yeah.
Always.
No, but yeah, that's
Like,
just.
I thought Breaking Bad was like, Hal? Like, that's my favorite character.
Oh, and I'll also add one last tip. Always treat others how you want to be treated, which is how you should live your life in general. But especially on set, everyone's tired. Usually everyone's kind of hungry. And, you know, nobody wants to be talked down to. Nobody wants to be yelled at or treated like a child. Everyone's doing their best. And sometimes you need to remind people how to do certain things. Absolutely. But, you know, you can always do it in a way in which someone will be responsive instead of a bully.
Yeah. And keep yourself sane, because casting directors, everybody's in the entertainment industry. They don't want to know all the stuff you casting director workshops or classes or whatever. You know, they want to know what's interesting about you. You have to be human to them. So that just make sure, and it will keep you sane too. Because you got to find ways to keep it moving forward.
Brevity is not our strong suit, as you can see.
No.
You're like, what's unique about you? And Gabby's just like, yo, I'm a mermaid, bitch.
That's awesome.